Well, my dad passed away when I was 5. He was killed in an industrial accident. And my mom always took us to church. I even participated in Christmas programs and even went to summer camp one year. And but as I got older and turned a teenager, I told my mother, I don't want to do that anymore. And I didn't go to church again. I had rejected God and all His ways. My career was going well, and all of a sudden I'm offered a position to go to Saudi Arabia. Mobil had built the east-west pipeline from the oil fields to the Red Sea. And so I accepted a position over there in operations. So Louise and I show up over there. She's invited to we call them communities, home group. And I asked her, I said, well, what do you do there? She said, we have a little singing, we have a little preaching, and then we eat ice cream. I said, ice cream? I said, what do you mean ice cream? She says, oh yeah, a guy found an old soft serve machine. It was broken, repaired it. It's in his kitchen, and we eat soft serve every week. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get me some of that ice cream. So I started going with it. And got to know some of the people. Well, the guy leading it was actually one of the lead electricians on the tank farm that I worked with. I would call him, and if I had electrical problems or we had any issues, and we were right in this transition period of completing construction, going into operations. And I found out this guy's a Christian, and I said, man, he's having a lot of fun. And really just, there was a joy in him. Never saw him say a bad word about anybody. And I love that man to this day. His name's Dave Breeden. When I first encountered believers in a home church setting, I was carrying a lot of guilt. I didn't know where that guilt was coming from. And again, I think God was already working in my heart. I didn't know that. But the people, again, a couple of them I knew. Some of them I became very, very good friends with through that process. I went in very tentative. I didn't know what to expect. But they showed me that they're just people. They're just like me. They put their pants on the same way I do. But they had an understanding of what true love really is. It's not about what you get out of somebody or what you can receive from them, but it's about what you can give to them. I still look back on this as a divine appointment where God arranged this. There's no doubt in my mind. But during Ramadan, the country, all the Muslims would pray and fast during the day, and then they would eat and stay up all night so they'd sleep the next day too. But during Ramadan, a lot of people of our group, it had been averaging about 20, 25 people in the group, in the community. And several expats would take leave at that time. So we show up, it's me and Louise, our 2 sons, and Dave and Mary Breeden and their 3 sons. And Dave posed a question to me. He said, I can either continue to teach you how to play Texas 42 with the dominoes, or I can teach. And I said, no, you go ahead and teach. I know you've put the work in. You go ahead and teach. And so he taught that night on John 3:16 and John 3:17. And for that first time in my life, I understood God's grace, and it cut me to my heart. And that night, I believed. That started a process of lifelong change for me. I'd like to say that it was all sin had left me, but after 31 years of living in the world, it doesn't always leave that quick. And so communities have always been a big deal to me. Now, it was a couple week delay, and then finally Dave announces to everybody in the whole group that, hey, Steve gave his life to Christ. And I couldn't understand the joy of the people around me, and it was a big deal. But as I look back, I understand it. It is unspeakable joy when you're part of a group that somebody makes a deeper commitment to Christ. I've been privileged to lead groups and communities. We engaged them before we were part of a journey, and we're engaging them here at Journey. And that's where life happens. It's when you start to develop a relationship with other people. And in that development of that relationship, Christ can enter. It becomes part of your conversation. It becomes part of your life. You adapt His principles and live them out. And that's what life change and becoming more like Christ is about.